Kenya. For the world to know that today we are great to be with the 60. Our readiness and duty is to share and care. Under one family share and care policy. You can subscribe, you can like, you can share. Please welcome and be alive. Karibuni sana.
That is a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. That depends on where and at what time you're watching us from. My name is Brenda, a student from Pan University, and here with me are comrades and youths from Kilifi County. And today, as the Gura Gura podcast group, we are too much honored to have received Professor Wadzakoya, the one and only. And I'm just short of words, yes. But we are here, he's here with us today to just share with one love, to share with us, to talk with us, and at least we will get a chance to, speak one or two things with him. So I'd love the fellow youths to introduce themselves, yes. And then I'll give the president of one university the chance to introduce the Professor Wadzakoya. So I'll start from here. You introduce yourself. Then we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Faith Wickliffe. I'm also amongst the Gura Gura team, and we're here to share with the sixth himself. He's here, he has honored our seats today, and we feel so blessed, and we say thank you. Not everyone would consider giving us this opportunity. Thank you for choosing to listen to us and share with us today. Welcome.
And I'm Viona Mukua from the Gura Gura podcast. It's a pleasure to meet Wadzakoya in person. It has always been my dream to meet the Lord of One Love in person. So it's a pleasure. Thank you once again.
So I'll go to the side. Honorable, please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Brenda. The one honorable. Allow me to start introducing myself by the title. I am Honorable Eva. I'm very much glad to be here with the sixth president, the Republic of Kenya, and I'm glad. And I believe that in the 14th Parliament, is there as one of your choice. Yeah, it's very my constituency, their constituency in Comox County. So I am a student of one university, and I'm very much glad to be here in Gura Gura podcast, so that we can be able to air our views to the world. That we may be able to learn one, two, or three things from different fields that can benefit us as youth and as society at large. Thank you very much and welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. So this time I'd love to introduce the president of Pan University. Yes, welcome, sir. And you introduce yourself, and then you introduce Bingi, and then you will also introduce Professor himself.
Yes.
You won't say my name. No, I think if you have ever interacted with the African mom, let's involve one. That I say you would always receive when you are around something. Yeah. Something bad. That's why you left it. That's why, of course, I'm receiving. People are not getting into the agenda of the man. So I'm not here. I will be here to count on something very important. I say to meet my mentor, meet a true man, meet a wise man. Because one thing that I know is very dangerous is ignorance. And when you are wise and you have information, then there is no obstacle that can sit between you and what we need, we as young people, as much as we are agitating for leadership, we also need information and seek the right information. Because I know 2027. 2027, it will be that actually. We are so wise. This time now we are wise. And I told my people that is the wait and see. We are going to be harmed with our vote. And then the voting station, we won't leave our minds at home. In fact, myself,
I know who I want to vote for, but I know what I don't know who I would vote for, but I know who I want to vote for. So, bro, it's so nice to meet you. We really appreciate it. And sure. Sure, the most learned, because I think, of course, what we need, and I want to work for the world of Pan Africa. You say that the problem of Africa is actually bad leadership. It is not the problem of physics, it is not success, it is bad leadership. And a good leader is a leader who is informed, that was learned, a leader who knows things of economics, all the bro, karibu sana for the university, because the university is represented here. And in the future, we are going to welcome you for public lecture, trusting your wisdom. So allow me to introduce one and only, the guy I always follow his videos and his content every day. I was so surprised to find him here. I think you people gonna follow him. Yeah, man. So, guys, I think you can introduce yourself.
First of all, first of all, I would like to greet you in the name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie I. Yeah.
Rastafari.
King of Kings, Lord of Lords, conquering Lion of the tribe of Judah. Yes, I am very grateful. Nimefurahia sana kupatana leo na Mr. Lushiri wa Jakoya. Mimi hapa ni Steven Pingi. I'm a businessman in real estate, tourism, and a love ambassador. Kazi yangu ni kupeleka upendo kwa kila county, kila nchi na world mzima na cheki. Ndio maana tulikuwa tunaelezea ama tungependa kueleza na kunong'onezeana na Mr. Luchiri wa Jakoya hapa. Kama mimi ni muuzaji mashamba, mimi ni mtu wa tourism, napeleka watu kwa, najua kukiwa hapa tuna keep the love alive by connecting. Yes?
Yeah, man.
Na kugrow pamoja. Sasa mimi nimebambika sana Mr. wa Jakoya. Najua tutazidi kuconnect na tutagrow pamoja. Na uniletee watu wa kununua mashamba. Kabisa, nashukuru. Najua Wajakoya kuna job opportunities mingi. Bado Mr. Wajakoya atatueleza kuhusu hii Go Green, unajua? Go Green tunaiendesha na nini? Go Green miti, na bado kuna vitu vingine, plantation zingine, unaona? Hii inategemea na awareness, tunasemanga self awareness. Kenye wewe usione mtu anasema kuhusu herbs kadhani ni mambo ingine, unajiwekea mambo ingine. Wewe unakuwa self awareness. Wewe unajua hii kitu ikiletwa kuna advantages mingi italeta, unaona? Employment, italeta maneno ya kusaidia huku kwa health, unaona? Sasa tuna go green na hizi herbs inatusaidia aje? Hii biashara pia kenye tunaongelelea zaidi, kenye tuna grow nayo, bado tunataka pesa, unaona? Ndio tuweze bado kujikimu na cheki. Asante sana, nimeshukuru. Karibu Mr. wa Jakoya. Asante.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with due respect, allow me to introduce bro to you. Because it's always what's there in large pots. So bro, we are here for your wisdom, because we know you have a lot.
Yeah, put your hands together for Prof.
Old enough. That's difficult to when the country is going down. Standing, young people, standing with the reality, standing with the rights that enshrined in the preamble of the Constitution. Not that a lot of you struggle with it. Let me enlighten you my version of the Constitution. Nothing like the Constitution. It's going to be tried, vetted, acknowledged. And nothing like laws unless they have been broken. Nothing like laws unless you know why they were made, for whom they were made, and the consequences. Because a lot of you don't make laws. In an agreement, who purported have been elected by the very constitution we talk about. Now, if you look at the preamble of the Constitution, there's only two sentences. We, the people. And that's it. That's the Constitution. Any other thing that lies below the preamble is not a Constitution. Those are words. Some of them are copied, infested by so-called special interest groups that were sent by the then government to benchmarking in other countries. Going to copy what other countries are doing, thinking they're so nice and not violent. They bring in in Kenya, then you compile a report, boom, and the president, you have some few psychopaths who clap and say, now we have the Constitution. That is not Constitution. It's started in your heart and in your mind. We, the people, what do we do? What are we doing? What are our customaries? What are cosmologies? What is the intended purpose of triangulation of the words we say, the words we listen to, how we apprehend them, actions we take, individuals, actions we take against society, in society, and the feelings towards society. Once you put them together and you agree to behave in a particular way, that consensus cannot be written, then be copied. That's why you see the mess in this country. That's why you see people like me being followed by the system everywhere I go. Because they know that whatever we say, somebody will get promotion out of it. I have to call handlers, where is Wajakoya? What is he doing in the post? As if this is their legitimacy to leave alone. Here's some paramedics. We and they. Put you together in a cage, control your mindset. Leave you in that pot, and that's why the pot is now built. Because the mindset of these few individuals who are trained by white people, trained and gadgeted by the white systems. The lunacy of the white man wanting to control us through some black white men in African nations. With the imported culture that Kenyans have to be looked at in a particular way. The Kenyans have to be trained and be put as be subjected to some kind of recklessness, whereby if they don't behave in a particular way to our interest, then they ought to be controlled. Desire of the mind. A lot of us are not hard because we are undesirable. That's why I'm thanking one university and to be the first university to have given me legitimacy to speak to them. University, they cannot call me. Because the people teaching in Nairobi University have the same status quo mind as those who have employed them. Not the Kenyan people, not the students. They are appointed, and if you look at their mindsets, some call themselves academics. Academics in what sense? Professors. Whose knowledge are you trying to dispense? Deans. Whose deaning are you deaning? Why can't we look at ourselves in the eye and say, you're going to law school, we're going to read psychology. But how do we emancipate ourselves? What is the word emancipate? How do we develop ourselves? I use the word develop. Whose agenda are we developing?
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery.
Amen.
Emancipate ourselves so can free our mind.
Yes.
Yes, I.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For atomic energy. But none of them can stop us the time. How long have they killed our prophet? While we stand aside and look.
And you see, like, this gentleman, a complete human. If I was the president, these are the kind of ambassadors, and I'm sorry immediately, that I'll point and put on the international platform.
Yeah.
Tell the world that we are globalized and this is our ambassador. Instead of going to take some lunatics from the university because they went there and stood there. Because their fathers and mothers follow a particular trajectory. Who are you? Driving you back to the preamble. We, okay? Mindsets that we have today. So-called academics that we have today. They're the ones that are driving this war between the Genesis.
Yeah, sure.
Because they come up with a certain policy framework, which must contain those students. Lock them up. Bring them in state house. Give them stipends. No jobs. There's no industrialization. There is no economic vibrant activity. Take those students. Put them on the plane. Let them clap on their parents. Most of them are university students going to wash dishes in Saudi Arabia. Somebody will come up and say, we are now giving jobs for Kenyans to go and wash what? Dishes for an Arab in Saudi Arabia. In the Middle East, where people are treated like sheep.
Okay.
And then you come and tell me you are a university student without plantation, without portfolio. You have no way forward, you have no way backward. You have loans to pay, student loans to pay, no employment. There are no employment policies apart from those that are copied and pasted. You are told to go and build them houses. Remember Gachagua saying that sasa tutawapanga nyinyi wanafunzi, kuna kazi ya kwenda kwa ujenzi. You leave your university and you are given a spade to go and scoop sand, put on a lorry, to go and build somebody's building. And then their own children. And they are flamboyantly eating from the economy, from your school. And when you speak like this, I'm the enemy. When you speak like this, you are anti-government. When you speak like this, you are being sent by the West. When you speak like this, you ought to be condemned. When you speak like this, you are somebody who is not desirable. Yet some of them, when you go to court, you represent them. Represent them, because with the court you can represent. That's what they say. If they feel they have reached here. But I don't want to speak much because I would like to give you an opportunity to ask me.
If I may be honored to ask the first questions, you've seen how youths, we have been looked down upon. People have mistreated us, we've been abducted, we've been killed, and still somehow we've not gotten the solution to what we are looking for. The current government seems not totally to understand what to hear and understand the voice of the young people. I know you're going to sit on that seat next year. What's one rigid, strong promise will you give to us as youth? Because we are tomorrow. They want us to say we are tomorrow, but we just want to be now. We want to be listened now. We want every action to be made now. So what's that one thing you're going to put or strategize aiming at us, remembering us? Because here we are, really wanting to be heard, really wanting to be seen, but we get whatever we get in the ground ni abduction, tunauliwa, tunapotezwa, wazazi nao wanalipwa, wananyamaza, tunakufa na hiyo story inaisha. Because up to now we've still not seen any solution yenye kuwa imekuwa addressed in a way that tunaonekana. Kitu tunaona tunaendelea State House ni bodaboda zinapelekwa. Si mumeona watu wameganywa bodaboda huko nje? And that is not what we want. Because at the end of the day, if it's a bodaboda, it needs oil to function each and every day. I'm a graduate. Sasa mimi tena niende kwa bodaboda. Na mtu mwenye ananiambia nijiajiri, tulipatia vote tukampa kazi. Asi imagine unapatia mtu kazi afu baadaye anakuambia wewe jiajiri. It doesn't function that way. So kindly, just one voice to the youth to give us hope, and also we will rely on it. We'll put you accountable on it. Sindio? Acha tusikie.
Unfortunately, I never lie. I never give false promises. I would roll over the body in the court again. If you are 18 and you have a 19, go and register. Organize yourselves. Form your own units. Select your own candidates. Vote for those candidates. Get them to change. Because no single human being can come here and lie the way they always lie to me. Because I don't want somebody to lie to me. Neither do I become a stooge of lies. I've been used to that for so many years. So why should I prolong those lies that I will do? I will do what? Alone, I cannot function. All is on you. Nenda uregister, chukua hiyo kitambulisho, weka wenzako pale, simama nyuma yao, uwavutie, tukimiti huko. All of us will now work as a team. But this issue of me saying, Atantadu, I cannot. I've been a chokora, I've been a grave digger, I've been a security guard, I've come through very difficult environment. So I don't see why I should come here and start lying to students who are old enough to be my children and grandchildren. Like mimi nitawaletea na mimi mwenyewe hata sina. Lying. I'll give you an example of MCS. Nominated MCS, particularly women. How old are they? Have you seen that? I'm a nominated MCS who are women. Do they have any structures in their head that they can bring development? Sini bibi ya mtu ananominatia because alikuwa kwa list. Sini demu ya mtu ananominatia. Wakiwa kule when they are in county assembly. Kazi yao kubebanga tu mkono. Yes, I'm here. Yes, higher. I want to see you people in those institutions. It's revolutionary. We don't want to lie to ourselves again. Look at the group. How do you play a carrot with the young people? You know they are hungry. They have no money to pay for their loans. They have nowhere to go. Where they come from, there is nothing. You play with them, take them to State House. Give them food to eat and what have you. Yet your own children are driving matatus. Where are we going? Must you be the president? Why can't you serve your term? And why can Kenyans decide? Why can't you be like another Mandela? I will serve. When they say no, I will go honorable. Why must you trick yourself, kill people, and then you want to compensate them? Why do you kill and then you want to compensate? Why can't you be taken to prison and be locked up? Why can't you answer for the sins? Let us come out in big numbers. Let us speak the truth. Spit the truth, sit on the truth, be beaten because of the truth, be killed because of the truth, and remain honorably, remain dignified, remain glorifying yourself that I once did something. Some of us have been in prison that somebody need to know. Of course, a policeman. That's all they need to know, the evil part of it. But it's a policeman and not evil man. Mandela was a policeman. Putin was a policeman. George Bush was a policeman. Burkina Faso president. Look at his service, his lifespan. He started off as a cop, military president. Is he not delivering? Next question.
Privileged to ask the second question. From 1964, since we got independence as Kenya, you have proven to have a unique strategy of leading Kenya. From your experience, maybe the student life, the academic life, and the political life, so far so good. How can you encourage these young students, the upcoming student leaders, to back up this political era in Kenya right now?
need to revamp the whole educational system. It's thinking, outdated, immoral. It need not even to be there.
Exactly.
Why do we still have to teach people about Lake Victoria and Queen Victoria? Why do we have to teach people about the discovery of Mount Kenya? Why do you have to teach religion in schools? Why? Yet religion was used as a tool to manipulate people in what they are. And I'm starting it the other way around so that I come to answer. Why can't we divide religion from state and from legislation the way things happen in America? The Constitution of the United States is very, very clear. Even saying hallelujah in a public school is blasphemous and can be taken to court. It is this religious menace that Museveni is dealing with. Burkina Faso, they are dealing with it. And also Kagame is dealing with it. That we have to know. Indoctrination of the mind is one evil thing that we have in our society. Some of you are called who? Oh, we are pastors. Let's pray. You pray, and then somebody is stealing from you. Why can't you pray for yourself and do your own things? It is the religious aspect. It is this indoctrination of the mind through religious teaching that is wrong. When I say like this, they will condemn me. Remember, Pastor Nganga said that I should die. Unfortunately, I have not died. He predicted my death in 2020 because you're saying that, oh, ganja. Let's remove this educational system. Let's introduce practical systems that work. Let us come up with what can bring food on the table instead of reading philosophy of Vasco da Gama. What do we have to do with that traitor who brought this slave trade? Is this one? Why can't we go the economic way? The Singaporean way? Why can't we look at what's happening in Burkina Faso? Why can't we look at what's happening in South Korea, Japan? Why can't we look at what's happening in India, where the academic framework is tailored in such a way that when a child is born in India, he becomes the subject of the Indian government. When the child is born in India, he becomes the subject of economic development. The child goes to school in the morning, and then he's told from first day that the food you eat tomorrow will come from you. He's told on the second day that the monies that will be used to educate you will come from you. And that's why you see kids from, I wish there was some kind of benchmarking. In India, sasa tukiwa huyu bingi kwa hapa, president of the university is here. Ikiwa tuko na farm kwetu, na iko na mangoes, you'll open the mango bank in school. Ikiwa kuna machinery ya kutengeneza hiyo fruit juice, wow, you'll open the machinery fruit bank. And then ikiwa kuna plastic bags, anatoka familia by manufacturer, you go and enroll in school, register. So that during lunchtime, mimi nitakuja na maembe yangu, ama mchungwa, huyu anakuja na vikombe, huyu anakuja na machine, you blend, then you sell juice. Then part of that money goes in the bank that will use tomorrow to develop you and to keep you. So you become economically, entrepreneurially indoctrinized right from the beginning, where you know the use of money. But what I'm telling Kenyans is that we have hemp. Everything that I'm wearing is hemp. This is hemp. This trouser is hemp. This is hemp. Adidas is hemp because of the sign. This is hemp fiber. This is also hemp. If you go to New York Stock Exchange, you go to Toronto Stock Exchange, you find out that 50 kgs of hemp, 302 billion US dollars. If you look at Israel, the economy of Israel today, I'm just coming to Israel is surrounded by the so-called enemy, human rights, who are Arabs, who have also the right to live, I have a right to be recognized like the Palestinians, and I recognize the Palestinians myself. Can any of you tell me why Israel is a strong economy? Do you know why Israel is the strongest economy in the Middle East? Do you understand? It's because of hemp. It is the hemp, not the leaves which are burned, that they use for manufacture, for industrial development. Fabrics are used to manufacture heavy weaponry, small arms, artillery tanks, for export. Who is the consumer? It's you. How much do you pay? And that's why the world has come up to say, no, if we leave Africa to grow hemp, they'll be richer than us. Therefore, they will enslave us. So what I did cleverly is I wanted to create some kind of a caricature. A caricature is an animal that has got a formula that you cannot read. In the 17th century, we had people like Plato, they were caricatures. In the 14th century, we had people like Socrates, they were caricatures. But in the current century, we have Wajackoya, which is a caricature. We came up with a formula that says, wheat. I'm very educated, don't take me wrong. You can do your research on my academics, but I don't brag about them. But they don't belong to me. There are white people doing something, I went there, passed those exams, and then, so what? Then I came up and I said, we want to legalize marijuana. I wanted attention and I got it. Because the church will not allow me to stand and tell people that the usefulness of this. Once I did that, people listened to me. I can't bang it here. Bang philosophy. Bang here, bang here. Listen to me, I'm telling you. Simply played the caricature myself. Came up with the philosophy. Put that philosophy in the table. Now I'm telling you why I said bang. To attract you to listen to me so that I can tell you the important hemp and how hemp can develop here and improve the life. I do something for. But the resistance I had was from the church, and I knew that if I go that way, I go to Parliament, don't have to do that. So developmental mindset can be achieved when we rehearsal and then re-evaluate and then overhaul the whole education system in this country. We start with new energy, new ideas, and new participatory ideas where all of us can participate. And then now we build from it. Sorry, I took too long to answer your question. But that's how I had to meander around to explain this.
Let me be on that point. Because you have touched on education, and myself as an educator, I'm one of the students who really said that during the chant, I've realized that we are not going to maintain your priority time, so tomorrow, okay. So you have made that decision, and then we're chanting for education. So, bro, I saw the president the other day opening, launching houses, the affordable housing. And then myself, I replied that I got the opportunity. I'm close to you. I think they need to be educated on that. Because what we need is basic, because we have not even achieved the lower head of the society. Because education at this is a basic need. And then we need to create. So your leadership pro, you assure us is in the quality free education is available in Kenya for.
There's nothing like free. The word free, just remove it from it, divorce it from professor, because there will be nothing free. People have to work in the nation and build the nation and get the economy rolling, then benefit from that economy. Because if you come in and say free, that's why when you speak somewhere, Kenyans expect you to give them handouts. That's why we lose elections all the time. Let's remove the word free from our mindset. Let's go and see what happened in South Korea, in Seoul. Let's see why Singapore borrowed money from Kenya in 1964 to develop itself. It's more advanced than we are today. We need discipline. We need to work hard towards what we want to be. I worked very hard. I'm 66 in October this year. I've worked so hard, but I went to law school when I was 34, and I was a refugee, and I was in exile, where I had to dig graves to pay for that education. There should be nothing like free. We should strive and also sacrifice ourselves to build a stronger foundation so that we can actually have a vibrant economic policy. We can also have vibrant industrialization policy. we can also have a vibrant employment policy so that we can engage and sacrifice. In 1992, while I was at Warwick University, at Wolverhampton University, the tiger economy went down because they'd given all their students stipends to go and study. So there was an economic crunch. Malaysia by that time, Singapore, Japan, South Korea, they came up with a proposition. They said, we have gone bankrupt, we cannot no longer pay for our students abroad. We don't want to borrow. What can we do? People donated their jewelry, everything. So then when the economy came up, government paid. It's hard work principle. You'd rather not vote for me as the president if you think I'm going to give you anything. Okay? We don't want to have systems like having ECD education. Mtu ako Turkana anaambiwa sijui mfanye practicals. Turkana swimming naked is an abomination. Their culture. So you take a teacher who is a Turkana to their place, yaenda afanye ECD, hakuna electricity. Inaitwanga ECD ama ni shule gani hiyo? CBC, yeah, CBC. You overload somebody with something that is not practical. And that's why I'm saying, once I become president, hata hiyo pia natupa back. You overload the community. You go and say, this is the curriculum. Watoto wa Nairobi schools wanapewa the best because they have the monies. Wewe mtoto wa Turkana unamka usiku, ndio ukamue ng'ombe, ikwe ndani, ufanye hivi tuende shule, alafu wanataka ufanye practical ya swimming when there is no one. Unless you want to go and be eaten by a crocodile. There are some things that don't make sense. So the word free is not in my vocabulary.
Thank you so much, Professor. And I'm honored to ask the next question, though it's kind of related to what he was asking about. A lot of comrades in universities right now, a lot of them are suffering from something we call depression and all of that. And it is just because of money, just because of they can't afford school fees, they can't afford basic things like, rent, food, upkeep, and here things we are needed to pay so many things in school to acquire writing materials and all of that. And I'm saying that because I was a victim back then, and I actually deferred for like 2 years, and I came back to school because of the very same reasons. So you get that a lot of people, the only solution that comes to their mind, a lot of comrades, it's just to go and inject the drugs, just to free themselves from the stress and all of that, because they can't even call home. Once you start calling home, you send a place, because there is no even credit to do that. You send a place, call me, you get from home, they don't even have that money to call back, so they also send you back a please call me, just to assure you that there's no money back at home. So you get a lot of them, people are being, their houses are being locked. You get comrades are even sleeping in classes, because we want to learn, we want to graduate, but the journey from first year to fourth year or whatever the years they take, it's not that easy. So I don't know if it's right to ask, like, are those cases kind of have solutions from you?
Your face are very valid issue, and I'm an example of what you just said. Because when I was going to hospital, I had to do other jobs like caregiving, security guard. Then my first daughter was born at that time. Mother was also washing dishes. I had to go through a very, very but the part of it is that there were jobs. It was entirely up to me. That's why I chose to be a caregiver. Then also it will help through the employment give we go in, fill in a form, then the classification of jobs. You are told come on Tuesday, taking for a job, you have no choice. I found myself in a morgue, being given nylon, put on, and I'm like, you go in, it's really cold. But you are told, you know what, you have no choice. If you don't want to go away. But you're thinking of your little daughter, and you have no nanny. And even if you have a nanny, the mother is working to supplement you, and you have to work to supplement your child. So you say, you know what, kwani niliua nani? Na weka hizo, the first day you throw up and don't have you. That was the language. But on your part, it still goes back to government policy. It still goes back to political solutions that have gone wrong. You want to compete. Sisi ni location, imetengwa, nataka shule. Harambe, boom, I'm also going to abolish Harambe because there are sources of corruption. Then shule inatengwa, watoto kumu wamejaa, there are no outlets for employment purposes. There are no reception centers whereby you can easily go and work in Naivas and then go to school. But then what about people who live in places where there are no industrial gadgets? So in our government, again, and depending on what you agencies are going to decide, because the more you are in parliament or in the assembly, the more vibrant you are to make practical policies or practical solutions. You can come up with a method of waiving the first 10 years, have a project, have an academic projection that you can put things upside down, whereby you can have mental institutions, hospital institutions. I've just built a dispensary in place in years for about 10 schools in that radius. Because I see whenever I visit some of these schools, I find little kids who wake up at 4 in the morning to go to school. They've walked miles and miles with bags and a thumb in their mouth. Kids who are supposed to be nurtured, prepared, and be given the comfort and solution to go to school. So I used to find this vomiting, and who cares? That's why I came up with the solution. They say 4 days a week. Kids should go to school for 4 days. Between here and here, should have to open up a curriculum where parents want to teach their kids from home. Then you can minimize this. So mental health is very key in education. If you go to places like the diaspora, in the UK where I've gone to school and practice law, in the US where I've gone to school and practice law, you'll find out that there is all this. The systems are done in such a way that we have, in primary, for example, the TTA, parent, teacher, psychiatrist, stakeholder association, where the local government pumps in money to make sure that every child who becomes sick is catered for in terms of healthcare, is prepared. University students, there are universities with counseling centers, where students are naturally counseled. Instead of they have thrown you out and the landlord wants to sleep with you. Then the lecturer at school wants to sleep with you to give you math. Then no vibrant policies. So that's psychology. That those defects. Like me, I'm your professor. I'm so old, older than your father. But I'm looking at you and your skirt. And I'm telling some lecturers who are listening to this, those evil lecturers, then I have to sleep with you. Or I have to do it in hiding for me to give you marks. Those kind of things, these lecturers, we shall hang them. Because you are defiling a kid who is old enough to be a daughter, to be a child, and you are competing with her peers, young men. They like each other, but you have to come in to destroy somebody's daughter. That will have to go. I will hang those lecturers. So when it comes to healthcare is an issue. But then if you have a president who has not been outside the country, who has not networked, who has not gone through that, and you have the so-called those who are near the president, for example, guys who came from the bush, took care of cattle, milked cattle. From there, they became who they became because they were stouts. Then they make decisions for people in this country. Nani akiwa pale watu wanaogopa. You get some kind of presidential advisor standing there and turning women who are mothers and wives of people. Ebu pinduka, ebu tuone matako, huyu ni mzuri. I'll hang all those people. So, healthcare, telling people that they are wrong openly, notoriously, in public, is also one way of defensive mechanism. And work without fear. Don't fear anybody. Among you, there are spies who are working for the government that are given money to spy on other students. You get those ones, kill them. Next question.
Mr. Wajakoya, ningependa kuongezea kitu fulani ama moja mitatu. Na hii ningependa bado ifike kwa wa president William Samoei Ruto. Mimi ningependa kuanzia hapo kitambo tukielewa mambo na vitu kama drugs, tuseme kama hub. Unajua kitu ya kwanza hub tunaweza sema kategoriwa tunaambiwa ni drugs, lakini wenye wanatuambia ni drugs hub. Tunaona nchi zao hizo ndizo wanatumia, hizo ndizo zinawaletea profit, nchi zao zinakuwa kama United States of America. Wanatuambia hub ni mbaya, lakini ukiona kusema ukweli, ukienda kwa supermarket zao wanauza hii hub, na hii hub inawaletea faida kubwa sana. Sasa ndio ningependa kuuliza ama kutetea kidogo nikisema kuwa maneno yote inaletwa na three principles of life. Ya kwanza ikiwa ni self awareness, yani ile kitu yenye wewe unafikiria kwa mind yako, kwanza wewe mwenyewe, hii self love na self awareness, self love na self leadership. Hizi vitatu najua memo wanasema hiyo inategemea na akili yako. Unasema hii mbaya, mwingine anasema hii mzuri. Sasa mimi ningependa kuambia ama kuongelesha Mr. President, sababu mimi naona kwa sana wana wa Gen Z saizi, ma Gen Z na vile tunatokelezea kwa barabara, wengine wanaharibu mali ya watu, wengine wanafanya vitu fulani, inasemekana ni dawa ya kulevya, lakini ni kujitetea. Hiyo inakuwa ni njia mbadala wa kuharibu mali, kwa sababu bado mimi naweza sema unaweza control maneno aje. Ya kwanza mind yetu, control na mind ya kwanza, iwe kuwaka wenyewe na mind yetu. Ya pili ninaweza sema ikiwa na hii mind, alafu ya pili money. Naona ukiwa na hii money lakini hauna njia ya kutumia vizuri, bado tu utabaki pale pale. Unaona? Kwa hivyo kuwa na mind mzuri, pesa tuitumie kwa njia nzuri. Ya pili, ya tatu yenye tunafaa tujifunze bado ni mood zetu. For example, venye tunaonanga wengine wametoka kwa barabara wanakosana na Mr. President, lakini Mr. President morali yake inakuwa juu, mood yake inakuwa juu. Inaweza tenda tu kumwelezea uweze kuwa na hii love, na uko na self awareness, na uko na self awareness, kila kitu itaenda sawa. Imani ukiwa nayo na uitumie vizuri, kila kitu itakuwa sawa. Letee majeruhi kazi, unaona hiyo itakuwa mzuri. Alafu kitu ya mwisho ya mauzo, yani hizi ni vitu zenye zinatuma, yani tuna control hiyo na sisi tuweze kugrow, kwa sababu kama hatuna hizi vitu hatuta grow. Kwa sababu kuwa na mind mzuri ya kueleza watu ama kuelekeza vizuri ama kuexplainia jambo, utashinda ukikosana na watu. Unaona, ukiwa na hii pesa lakini wewe unajiwekea wewe peke yako, hauonyeshi watu vile watafanya, ama una venye unafaa saidia counties by counties, unawapatia mali yao, unajua venye unafuatilia venye imefanya kazi, kwa sababu usipofuatilia venye imefanya kazi hiyo kitu itaenda hivi na watu hawatasaidia. Vingine yenye nimesema ni mood Most tunafaa, yani tuna inself, yani unakuwa na hiyo inself. Hii mood yako unajua kuicontrol, yani unaona, ukicontrol kila kitu kitakuwa safi. Alafu hii mouth sana tujifunze bado kuongea, sababu wakati unatokelezea hapo unainform watu, unaongea mambo zingine zenye hazifai, mambo zingine zenye hazizuru hii ekonomi yetu. Hapo hivyo ndio maana tunapatanga majenzi wanapigana na president. Unaona, hizi vitu tunaweza taka sana hadi wanasiasa watilie maanani sana Wajackoya. Wewe unaonelea aje hapo?
Very good question, very good observation. Ile kitu tunatakana ni hatutaki kumbembeleza president. Why should we mbembeleza? Ile kitu ya kufanya. Why should we go in president? Should we kufanya kitu? Angalia sheria na kutengeneza sheria illegal. Sasa hivi tunakuuliza vipi? Mimi sasa kuna ile pombe ile kuchanganya katika na fusa. Hizo ndio zifanya ni went through that step. Ya shule so that mzungu alikuletea whisky. Sisi tulikuwa na katobako kale mbaki. Which our grandfathers used to smoke and feel okay about it. Mzungu alikuletea kosa. Kwa hiyo kuna nicotine. Kwa hiyo beti wanakuchorea ile mbao zao. What is wrong? Number two, what can be done to contain that system? Number three, are all Gen Z's right? In my opinion, not all of them are right. Very few are legit. Like politicians are using others to solve their status. Politicians are using other Gen Z's to go and destroy other people's property. Politicians are using Gen Z's to go and settle scores with the president because they are not in power. If they are in power, then you could not see that. That line and access of hypocrisy is what we are saying no. We've been there for a long time. They're telling us everything about this. Mtu amekuwa governor 10 years, retired because of the constitutional limitation. Mtu amekuwa waziri, before alikuwa MP. Alikuwa na mnego. Now yeye ndiye anapigania Gen Z. Because Gen Z's came up with a proper revolution, whereby if they had taken over these things, the country would have moved to another level. Ama politicians sasa wameanza hapo, kila wakati Gen Z akishikwa wako pale kotini, ndio wanatetea. Na wale watoto wao, there is hypocrisy. There's a line of hypocrisy that doesn't allow me to speak what I'm going to say, but because you are here and you have asked, I'm going to say it. Hawa politicians wengine ambao wanasema Gen Z, wakati mimi na Raila Odinga, wakati mimi na Kalonzo Musyoka, wakati mimi na Eugene Wamalwa, wakati mimi na Mwangi wa Iria, wakati mimi na Martha Karua, wakati mimi na Munya akioni Jeremia, tulikuja na tukasema sasa fire itaenda hivi, na mimi ndio nilikuwa commander hiyo force. Mimi ndio nasema itakuwa hivi, wengine baba naye mameni, baba ndio ameamka anasema kama mtaki kwenda maandamano amgoni, utaona watu wote wanaenda hiyo maandamano. Kuna wale vijana waliwao and they were shot indiscriminately. You saw some people going to the State House very early in the morning or to Harambee House to say leo hii siku tutawamaliza, tukawawa. I'm talking of Gachagua. See that I hate him, but I'm telling him the truth. Why couldn't he have resigned that time? Naambiwa Kenya mimi nimechoka, wacha nitoke saa hizi. Why wait until he's impeached? Alafu anaanza kuambia watu ati tulikuwa tunatumwa. President alikuwa anasema mimi nilikuwa natumwa. Watu waliwao. Then other politicians joined Gachagua. I'm speaking it, that's why I'm not aligned. That's what I'm trying to do. Accomplice and conspiracy. You are students and you know. That's why I'm telling the Gen Zs, wake up and do your thing. Don't be compromised with Fanta and Coca-Cola State House. Lakini the unemployed ones, of course all of you are unemployed, you can go and drink it. Unapewa charani ya kwenda kufanya nini? Unapewa pikipiki ya kwenda kufanya nini? Create industries. Don't take our children to Saudi kwenda kusafisha wale vikongwe wakipigwa wakikula chakula na maumbo. So Mimi, I will not be soft on what you have said. And the president should consider. Now he's saying compensation here for what? Kwanza lete yule askari alipiga watoto. Mame hapo tujue ni huyu alipiga sasa. Let the man who made the command waende wauliwe. Asimama hapo wawe tried first. Then let us go through the judicial process. Then once we finish, then now let the parents and the people who are killed or their families go and seek compensation. But you cannot be the killer and then now you want to compensate. How do you get the metrics of compensation? But on the Genesis also, this is the advice I have. Don't be used. Some of you are hypocrites. Because a politician has said, twende tupe mawe, because we are mbaya, after they have lacked Ruto, wamelo bonds, they want to put you in war that you don't belong to. Let us be realistic, brothers and sisters. Let us face and call a spade what it is. Sasa wenye walikuwa nasema, wenye walikuwa nafanya tunawawa wakati ule, sasa wengine wenye tulikuwa nao kwa ile mesa, ni wanakuja wanasema, oh no, they are arresting this man, wanakimbia kotini. Of what use can they bring? Hiyo group hiyo mnaona hiyo. Why can't we have Gen Zs to check their own way, the way they started, and to move on until the end? Why must we be compromised? I don't want to be leader of Gen Z. You have your own leadership. But we need to work as a team. Bring your mindset. Go and jiandikishe na kura yako. Hiyo ndio silaha yako. Alafu simama. If you are real Gen Z, pigia Gen Z mwenzako nini kura, you will bring change from where you be. Lakini sasa mnapangwa, mnatengwa, mnachukuliwa sijui na minister anaitwa Mutua. Atuko kazi Germany. How can you go and work in Germany and you don't know how to speak German? Why do you want to flagrantly lie to the people of Kenya? Why can't you come up with clear-cut policies? Kama sasa bangi, Galana Gulano nasikia imeuzwa. Hapo, it was 1 million acres. Just plant bangi in 200,000 acres and then you shall pay off the debts. We shall tell the Chinese to go here. Then and I'm just diffusing. When I talk with emotion, because this is the truth. Immediate solution to our problem. Panda bangi pale, uza hemp, kuna kazi. Chukua poison from snakes in Tana River, Kilifi, Baringo, Kitui. Sell, harvest venom. A gram of venom is 60,000 Kenya cedis. Sell it, and then you get the money. If the snake is old, cull it. Chinjwe vizuri, hiyo nyama ipelekwe China, because it's a delicacy. Let them use that for their food. Get the skin of this snake, sell it for leather in Italy. That problem is also a stream of honey. Come out of that, go to Talanta. There are so many Kenyans who are talented, especially young people. But there are academic talentas and kuna traditional talentas. But people forget what I'm going to remind you today. That even a snake charmer, vile mama anakaa nyumbani, hana meno lakini charms a snake, anacheza nayo. Nyinyi mnamuita mchawi. To me, huyo ni msanii. If tourists can go and put money to see and learn how this woman can be able to sit, charm your snake itembee hivyo, that's a stream of income. Yule mtu wa kukimbia usiku, night runner. Somebody's running at night. You yourself, you cannot because who has spotlight. Yeah, macho yake iko na kila kitu. Why can't we also give that person a chance? Awe msanii ili wazungu watoke huko waseme, hey, there's a special place for night runners. There's Night Runners Association. What's wrong with that? Also be wasanii. We have money and potential among us, but we choose to be developed. World Bank is coming in. We are going for benchmarking in Europe. Hiyo pesa mnaharibu. Ati MCA Kilipe anatoka hapa anaenda Malaysia ku benchmark. Kama sasa Homa Bay. They have spent 1.4 billion. Ati wanaenda kufanya nini? Kulalana huko. Why? Why can't you use this systems? Kaini chini, make your conferences, cut on spending, put that money in the university students, let pay off the debts. Is the Madenia help, and let's move on. It's practical. We are speaking of practicalities. Nakuta mtu anatoka huko. Sasa hawa university student tutafanya namna gani? Hebu hajakuwa yuko wapi ni professor. Hebu kuja kaa chini tumeform commission. But you don't involve those university students in those decision making. Are you not killing society? So what I'm trying to say is hakuna kupembelezana when it comes to nationals. Hakuna kwenda kuambia mtu ati sasa tufanyie. Hakuna duka kwenda kuomba president atufanyie. Tuombe nini? We elected him there. Let him do what we elected him for. And let us now have him responsible. Make him responsible for what wrongs are going on in the government. Mtu kama DIG, anaitwa nani Lagat? He was the source of the killing of this young man. Sasa hiyo wamemvurusha hivi, wanamvurusha hivi. They want him to take over. Why? That fellow should go home tomorrow. But if he doesn't go home and in future we take over the government, we shall try him. Nimesema ama sijasema? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. The sixth. At the beginning, you started with the conversation. And then during the conversation, we have discussed about the education system. I personally have thought of the same matter of the system of education. And I've also seen not that much good for the children or for the youth. Now, according to my view, I see that the education in Kenya should be that one which has got business in it, business that is agriculture, international technology, and technical skills, and also things to do with leadership skills, communication skills. Maybe some may also get involved in learning different languages than other areas. Some may like to learn French, some may like to learn with Chinese language, Germany, all those languages. I've also seen it was that Kenyan education is also encompass the constitution of Kenya, so that while the young generation grow in the school system, they be able to be given that adequate knowledge of the constitution of Kenya. They get to know, they get to learn more about what is in Kenya. So through that, I believe that the bright minds of the upcoming Kenyans, they may be able to come up with more ideas, brilliant ideas in the constitution, or even come up with even some issues in amending the constitution. They can be able to. I believe that they may be able to. We may be able to represent ourselves even personally in the court of law without having. So, according to you, you have also said that you do not support Christian education. I would like to know your thoughts or your view.
Defending yourself.
Okay, no, I'm asking. I am trying to explain to you my overall view, how I
Which I understood.
Yes.
But the question is
So the question is, which education system do you advocate for?
technical oriented, economic oriented, something that can bring food on the table, something that can put your mind into business. Business entrepreneurship rather than learning sociology or the history of Vasco da Gama, Lake Victoria and Mount Kenya. They will discover what use is that.
And the third one, the second one, first one.
Yeah, and what happened during. Who wants to know? Especially the Gen Zs today, they want to use modern technology to navigate around. can work from home during COVID time. In London, you can work from home. There will minimize transport, minimize expenses like lunch time and what have you. We have to go digital, and we can work in a global market. Once we have a proper educational system, we can be sourced out. Instead of living here to go and work in the robot world, going to clean up people, washing their rooms, cleaning their dogs. We can do what we can do. Look at Korea today. Look at the US today is outsourcing their jobs in India because the educational system has squeezed out irrelevancies and introduced the hard-working policy mentality, which is employment-oriented. What can I do to make money? Like him now. If he was in the US, he'd be a billionaire. By virtue of his disposition and by virtue of his certification, all companies will want to brand him, for you to brand for those stuff. That's association. Speaking engagement, Hollywood will go for him. I remember sometimes back when a little girl walked to my office in the sandwich, and she had those patched up clothes. Looked at her and told she was a Sudanese. Only to realize later on when I see her, I don't know why. I think it's also a mental state at that time. I don't come without appointment. That's quite new. Then somebody calls me and says, "Hey, Professor, that's Professor Nyang Yong's daughter. Just I want to say, head run, go and look for it. You know, the world market today. Can I even reach where she is? Talent sport. That's why I made him asking you to employ this young man immediately. I saw him with you. Did he give you some money? Or if he gave you the money, how much you have today? But if we put you in brand ambassador, you'll be our brand ambassador today. Even seeing you will be very difficult. So talents like this, like I've just called riches spice. Now, yeah. So what you say is correct. Let us look at education that works. Let's go back to the Kenyatta 1 days. The Kenyatta 1 days, going to Nairobi University, Dar es Salaam, just being a graduate, or being a teacher from a teacher training college, was actually an imperial kind of seniority in society. Buying a bicycle in those days was seniority. Twende tuangalie why Kenya's education system and medical health system was borrowed by Cuba, whereby Cubans utilized it so well in that they had one doctor for 3 patients. Right now it's a doctor per 200. Why? It's because of lunacy. Grab it quickly. Let's take power, steal the elections, grab everything, and leave this country to be like Haiti. That's where we are headed. A tribe is set against another tribe. Then how can we think to revamp one of this? You get somebody like a child, we're talking of Kikuyus. Kikuyu this, Kikuyu that. How do we need to blame Kikuyus for that? But where is he putting the Kikuyu from? Then if you want, the constitution also allows him. He can go and take the mountain, call for a referendum. Then those who agree, they can make their own republic so that when they go to Kabani, on a visa. Do we really want to be in that kind of discussion? It's the leadership. What leadership? But then how do we correct that? It's you guys, not me. You guys have responsibility. God forbid, even if people are listening to you, so what? Ni wewe mwenyewe ambao uko university ambao unajua where the shoe wearer is pinched by stone. You can come up with one voice, one dignitary, with a dignified thought, and you jacaranda yourself into your own system. This is your free country.
So, we need to confirm, I said we confirm that the ballot was work. So, back in 2020, when James started this is when we were raised not so we went to the streets to apply because we believe that the constitution, the mother of this country, protecting us, and we have the right to go and picket, peaceful, and organized the way. So we did it. We applied it. This is 25 years, but it has not worked. So now the strategy has changed the ballot. Now we are saying we do this ballot, we are going to liberate this nation, we are going to keep the problem of leadership. Now, but we have
all those systems of accountability. We have the court, and we know what happened. We have history can tell. After the election, and even this liberation of African countries, we have seen it. After the election, people went up to court, and then somebody thought it was satisfied, not satisfied, others said there was rigging, and all those issues. So now we have IEBC. I saw the report of IEBC. We really, and yourself, you trust these these systems of accountability, our courts, IEBC. We really trust them that 2027, what we the people are going to decide, what is that exactly what we reflected from the results.
We should ask the Americans and the British why they keep on interfering in elections because of their interest. The problem is not our system. The problem is these people up there. You guys, some of you have not gone out, you have not seen the world the way some of us have. It is the World Bank institutions, presidents of those countries who have influence of everything. We must put a puppet there. Through whom, what have the Americans to do with our election? Why do they have to come here to observe our election? Why should the Belgians come, the European Union, send their people to observe? To observe what? That's why I was the only president, the only presidential candidate who refused to meet, because I know I've stayed there, been a lawyer there, and there's nothing I'm going to discuss with. They're just coming to rubber stamp. Where are the ballot papers made? What about those companies that are already here, that help thieves to steal the election? Let's look at the greater picture. Don't be confused with the courts. Who actually... Gachagua is now saying how they stole the election. Malala has been on record saying how they paid 50 million to some people to steal the election. This is a scam. It is really a scam. And whoever is listening to me out there, go and tell them or put me live, take the video there and say, Gachagua is saying the elections in this country are scam. The only solution, raise up, tell the Americans to remove their soldiers from Mombasa. Tell the British to remove their troops. Let us be free. Let us be free from the colonial capitalistic mindset, whose main agenda is to loot our economy. Bravo to Burkina Faso, who has kicked them out. Let these foreigners now leave and let them go. Let the British leave. Let the French go. Let the Americans go. Please tell them to go. How many people are going to tell these people to go?
Yeah.
Tell the foreigners to leave our country. Foreigners, please go and let us make destiny of our country. That's what I can say.
Okay, I think by now time has gone.
Yes.
I'll do a closing remarks. I hope all of us have been contented. Have you fished from the wisdom that we've had today? Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for your time, and thank you each one of us that has participated. You've really asked good questions. This I know they'll be helping even those who are outside who we are representing right now. So thank you. It's time we let the second group come.
I think the girls will remain umalize na girls then tuje kwa team home. Sababu hiyo ndio team tukimaliza I don't think it will be. So wale wakuje mwanzo, the other team can leave for the ladies.
In one.